Hi, I'm Emme.
And I'm James.
And welcome back to the Bestiary Monster Manual A through Z.
Z.
And today, James, what are we talking about?
A bit of a classic. Potential foe, especially at lower levels. It's the Bugbear. Neither bug nor bear, but something else entirely.
It is, in fact, a goblinoid. Our first goblinoid here that we're going to talk about on the Bestiary, I believe, isn't it?
I mean, it feels a little disingenuous to talk about goblinoids other than goblins to begin with, but that is the order we have chosen.
That's how the alphabet works.
What?
I know, A to Z, right?
And yeah, they are the bigger, musclier, hairier, scarier cousins of your standard goblin, and actually, as much as I joke about them, they are no joke.
No, absolutely. I mean, look at Jerry here, Jerry the Bugbear here, the illustration in the book. And he doesn't look like he's fooling. He's got this pretty snarly face going on. He's defined of points, I believe you were saying. He's just spiky as heck.
Here at the Monster Manual Bestiary discussion group, we are fond of naming the guys we encounter. This particular one is Jerry. Other names have included Mike, Reg. I believe there was a Jim Bob.
There was a Steve.
But yeah, spiky, hairy, big old blunt weapon. The goblinoid, very apparent from the pointy ears and the facial features, eyebrows for days. Clearly, especially when you're just starting out in your adventuring career, not something you want to run into down a dark alleyway, cave, dungeon, etc. I like them though. I've got a bit of a soft spot for these guys. Some experience running them for players, and yeah, they're a fun enemy. Especially
as a smarter enemy, and an enemy that can be hired as mercenaries, you're just as likely to encounter these in a non-combat situation. In early levels, you're probably pretty likely to be stomping on them or have them stomping on you.
Yeah, potentially.
But because of their propensity to exist on the edges of civilization, but not completely away from it, you're kind of likely to hang out and talk with one, which makes them fun to kind of roleplay with.
Yeah, they're a little bit smarter than just your average monster. Not exactly tactical geniuses at the same time. They are smart enough to be selfish, is what I like about them. Like, if you encounter a band of them, and most of them run away after they've been defeated, one's left behind and is wounded, it's going to do everything it can to try and keep itself alive, including ratting out its former friends. And it really dials into that kind of selfish and evil by nature kind of thing that goblinoids typically have, which I like.
Evil more by self-preservation than necessarily intent.
Yeah, not wanting to destroy the world, but doesn't really care about anything other than it.
And talking about tactics, it is smart enough to, though, be very sneaky.
This is actually a thing I find crazy about these guys. Especially if you're at level like 1, 2. That sneak attack is enough to potentially one-shot a character.
Yeah.
Like, you can, step out, advantage on the attack, you roll well enough as a DM, and bam, you're down to negative maximum hit points, dead.
Yeah.
This thing can one-shot players. And for a challenge rating 1, that's insane.
Yeah. And just from the perspective of describing this, I know we were talking about these guys sneaking around. They're so big.
How do they manage it?
Yeah. How is this working? And the idea... introducing your level 1 players to this when they're wandering around and one of them gets hit so hard on the head that they're down instantly, and out of the shadows crawls a bugbear. It's funny. I'm sorry. It's not funny, but it's funny.
And, going back to the art, again, it's covered in armor, it's big, it's hairy, it probably smells appalling, and the art is it yelling. You don't look at this and think stealth.
Yeah.
But, hey, I mean, it's arguably their best ability, and it's one of the reasons I do actually really enjoy running them for players. They're the kind of thing where arguably a little bit one note, but yeah, fun to fight, fun to kill. Not so much fun to be killed by, but still. Thank you so much for joining us on the Bestiary. I've actually used bugbears to kill players once or twice, not intentionally, I promise. Have you ever been bothered by a belligerent, berserking bugbear? Let us know in the comments down below if you have. We'd love to hear from you. And if you'd like to see more of the Bestiary, you can see it here. If you'd like to see more of the Adventurers Pack, you can see it here. And you can subscribe here. Please ring that bell to be notified of when we release new videos. And we would love to meet you next time when we talk about the bullet.